Busted. Chocolate. I'm craving chocolate. Oh, those are delicious. You can tell I licked the bowl. Can't make brownies and not lick the spoon in the bowl clean. What's up, you guys? So I got home from the gym and I've got a little bit of a sweet tooth and I'm craving some chocolate. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and put together a brownie recipe, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. So these are a low-carb brownie, and what better way to start the new year off by eating healthy and some low-carb treats. So anyway, I hope you guys find this video helpful, and if you guys try this recipe out, please let me know what you guys think, and if you change it up a little bit, leave me a comment below because I'd love to know how you guys came up with your own recipe. Let's get to it. So first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and start the oven, set that to 350. We're gonna get that preheated and we'll get started. Okay, so here I've got all my ingredients. Everything's already all prepped and it's all ready to go. So I'm just gonna go over just a few things that I've got here and just kind of tell you guys why I've chose to use the certain brands and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start melting everything together. First thing I would like to do is take the butter, the chocolate, the cocoa butter, and the coconut oil, and I'm gonna melt all four of these together. What I like to use for butter is the Kerrygold butter. So this stuff, I choose to use this over just the cheap regular butter. I believe it tastes better. A lot of people may say otherwise, but some people probably don't notice the difference. Anyway, with the butter, we are using 4.5 ounces of butter. Now, chocolate. A lot of people go with the baker's chocolate. They say they can't tell the difference. If you want to go the cheap route, you can use baker's chocolate. I prefer using the Ghirardelli chocolate. With the Ghirardelli, I just like the taste better. So I'm using 100% Ghirardelli chocolate, and that's 3.5 ounces of that. I love this stuff. Not only do I use this in my products, I also use it in my food. I cook with it. It's really good for you. So the cocoa butter, we've got 1.8 ounces of that. And then coconut oil. So I use organic virgin coconut oil, and this is a tablespoon of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and melt all of these together. So the microwave didn't work and melting everything. It just took too long. So I'm gonna go this route. But normally this is like this, and the baking is like the longest process. So once all these are all melted together, I'm gonna add the sugar in there and hope that it dissolves it, because I mean that sugar, it's very grainy. You don't want your brownies to be grainy. That is one big mistake a lot of people make. Okay, now that everything's melted, I'm gonna go ahead and add my sugar in there so I can get that melted as well. I like to add my monk fruit erythritol blend. This stuff is an all-natural sweetener, and you can get this, I got this on, I think, Amazon, but the So Nourished, I like this brand. This is a granulated sugar, and then I use this as a topping just to kind of sprinkle on top of my brownies, but this is like the confectionery type sugar. So now I'm gonna add in 1.5 cups of sugar. Let it completely cool, because if you add this in with the eggs, you will cook the eggs. Then I've got 5 eggs, so we're gonna crack all those, put those in a bowl, and we're gonna add a teaspoon of this Madagascar vanilla extract. I just believe it tastes better. It's a little bit more pricier than just the imitation vanilla. So now while the chocolate and the sugar is cooling, I'm gonna go ahead and whisk my vanilla and my eggs. The next thing I like to use for the dry ingredients, a teaspoon of baking powder. And then we want 2.8 ounces of flour. Now this is your choice. You can either use coconut flour, but I prefer using the almond flour, not only because it just tastes better and it works better with the ingredients. Now, if you were to use coconut flour, you may need to add a little more moisture to it, only because coconut flour draws out all the moisture in your brownies. So I choose to use the almond flour, and I like the taste better. Like I said, it's your preference. So you're gonna add 2.8 ounces of almond flour, and then you're gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder. And then the last thing we wanna add is a dash of salt. All right, so there's the dry ingredients. So I'm gonna whisk all that together. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start slowly adding in my chocolate. Now that it's cooled, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding that into my eggs. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add in my dry ingredients. Get that all mixed up, and then I'm just gonna use the mixer just to kind of get it all completely blended. That is the type of consistency we are looking for. So it's not too thick like dough. It's just perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into my pan. And I always use parchment paper just because I don't wanna fight trying to get these things out of the pan. No matter how much you butter the pan, it never works out right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour my batter right into my pan. And I've decided to go with the 9x9 pan just because I want my brownies to be thick and more moist. Usually if you want them a little bit thinner, you can go with a bigger pan and they'll just be a little more crunchier. But this is the route I'm gonna go with. Okay, and now they're ready to go into the oven. I'll stick it in the center. And I'm gonna let those bake for about 30 minutes and I'll come back and check on them. All right, so I went ahead and pulled these out of the oven, and normally to test it, I always just go straight down in the center, pull that out and make sure that comes out clean. So they are ready. Okay, and then just to top it off, gotta add some whipped cream. That right there is the best part. All right, here we go. Now for the taste test. You know I couldn't resist. After these things get out of the oven, they're still hot, and oh my God. Those are delicious. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. You guys, you're gonna love these brownies. If you guys decide to do this recipe, I would love your feedback. Leave me a comment below if you guys change the recipe up a little bit. I'd love to know what you guys think of these brownies. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a happy new year, and I hope you guys enjoy this recipe and this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. So make sure you hit that notification bell because you will get notified when I upload my next video. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.